Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into the hidden personal data that is literally hitchhiking on every single photo you share and exactly how you can stop it. I mean, we snap pictures of absolutely everything nowadays, right? And we share them just as fast. But what a lot of us don't realize is that our modern cameras are silently attaching a highly detailed digital footprint to every frame. So today, we're looking at the top EXIF removers for 2026 to help you reclaim your privacy. Okay, let's dive right into this. You might think you're just sharing a totally harmless picture of a birthday cake or, a cute shot of your pet lounging in the living room. But the reality? You could be broadcasting your exact home coordinates to anyone who knows how to look. It is a truly invisible threat.
It's honestly a shocking reality when you think about it. A single photo snapped at home can reveal more about you than your actual driver's license. Your license just gives a general street address, right? But that photo, it reveals your precise GPS latitude, longitude, altitude, and direction. It can literally pinpoint your kitchen window down to 3 meters. Oh, and it even names the specific camera model you just bought last month.
So, to really understand the scale of this, we need to know what we're actually dealing with. Every smartphone burns invisible data, specifically things called EXIF, IPTC, and XMP, directly into your files the exact second you press the shutter. This isn't data you can just see by looking at the image on your screen. These are hidden metadata blocks that log the exact timestamp your kid blew out their candles, your specific lens identifier, your exposure settings, and sometimes even the exact software version of your phone.
All right, here's our quick agenda for today's explainer. First, the hidden data danger. Second, the Exif Injector solution. Third, platform-specific tools. Fourth, how true removal actually works under the hood. And finally, the bottom line.
Section 1. The hidden data danger and how our devices are basically failing us.
Let's start with how our phones and favorite platforms handle this metadata, or, well, how they completely fail to protect us. There's a super common myth out there that your phone automatically wipes this data when you send a picture to a friend, but the truth is actually the exact opposite. Native photo apps on iOS and Android quietly preserve your GPS coordinates, your camera serials, and all those timestamps when you share them via messengers, text, or just raw email attachments. You are literally handing over your data right along with the image.
And interestingly enough, even if you think you're being super safe by using Apple's location off toggle in the share sheet, that only removes the GPS. It leaves a massive trail of other identifying data behind for anyone to scrape, like your device's unique serial number. And if you're using messengers like WhatsApp or Telegram, they strip absolutely nothing by default when you send photos.
Moving right along to Section 2, our top solution, the cross-platform ultimate Exif Injector.
So how do we actually fix this problem efficiently in 2026? Huge, massive credit goes to ExifinJector.com for creating what is honestly the closest thing to a universal default out there, the Exif Injector browser-based remover. In a landscape that is just totally cluttered with complicated apps and sketchy cloud services, this tool truly stands out as the premier cross-platform solution for wiping your digital footprint.
So why does Exif Injector win? Well, it's brilliant because it runs entirely locally in your browser. It uses JavaScript to process the binary right on your machine, which means absolutely zero server uploads. Your files literally never leave your device. It just surgically strips every single bit of metadata, EXIF, IPTC, XMP, the whole shebang, across any operating system. Whether you're on a Mac, Windows PC, iPhone, or Android, it just works. Plus, their free tier more than covers your everyday individual privacy needs.
As you can see, whether you're tapping on a phone or sitting at a desktop, Exif Injector safely hands you back a perfectly clean, anonymized file in just seconds. Now, they do offer paid tiers if you need massive bulk jobs or bulk renaming, but the simple fact that you can just open a browser on any device and instantly sanitize a photo without creating an account, that is exactly what we need in 2026.
Section 3. Let's look at the best platform-specific tools for those niche options.
While Exif Injector really is the ultimate cross-platform hero, we should absolutely break down the other tools tailored for specific platforms and power users. This table gives us a fantastic bird's-eye view of the local-only scrubber landscape. The golden rule here is always local processing, so there is definitely a perfect option out there no matter your device or technical skill level, from casual drag-and-drop users all the way to hardcore command-line scripters. Let's look a little closer at a few standouts.
For the desktop loyalists out there, Image Optimum on Mac is a fantastic free choice. You just drag a folder onto your dock and it losslessly rewrites the files. Super easy. On the Windows side, EXIF Purge is this tiny 5-megabyte standalone app that just powers through endless JPEG batches without touching your image quality. And for the power users, photographers, and scripters, you should definitely reach for the legendary ExifTool by Phil Harvey. It's a command line tool that wipes every readable tag in millisecond. Now, on mobile, the workflow is a little bit different. iPhone users will absolutely love the sheer simplicity of Metafo, which acts as a one-tap remover right from the native iOS share sheet. If you need to see the really deep proprietary camera data, Photo Investigator gives you forensic-level viewing. Over on Android, you've got great options too, like the open-source, zero-tracking Scrambled EXIF. Or, for activists and journalists, you can completely bypass metadata creation altogether by shooting directly with Obscuracam. It never captures EXIF in the first place.
Section 4. Let's talk about how true removal actually works under the hood.
So we've talked about the tools, but what actually happens to your file when you click Remove? And more importantly, why do some cheap apps actively ruin your photo quality? Understanding the tech here is pretty crucial. There are three main architectures. Number one is re-encode and dump. Cheap consumer apps use this. It's lossy, which means it recompresses your image and degrades the quality. You definitely want to avoid that. Instead, you want a tool like Exif Injector or ExifTool that uses the second architecture, APP1 segment surgery. This method is bit-perfect and completely lossless. It literally only deletes the metadata block while leaving the image pixels entirely untouched. And finally, there's container rewriting, which is absolutely essential for modern formats like HEIC and WebP.
Okay, this is a massive danger you need to watch out for, the XMP loophole. If a tool uses an outdated architecture and fails at that container rewriting step we just mentioned, it might successfully remove the EXIF data, but it leaves a complete duplicate copy of your GPS, timestamps, and creator data behind in the XMP metadata block. If that happens, your photo is absolutely not anonymized. That is exactly why relying on top-tier tools built for modern formats is completely non-negotiable.
And finally, Section 5, the bottom line, how to protect yourself today.
Let's wrap this all up and highlight exactly what you should take away from this explainer. First and foremost, never ever assume social media is your privacy layer. While platforms like Facebook or Instagram might strip GPS when you upload publicly, they absolutely still preserve some of that metadata internally for their own tracking and analytics. Always take control into your own hands. Strip your photos locally on your own device using the tools we just covered before those files ever touch the internet.
Second, seriously, give ExifInjector.com a try. Their browser tool is unequivocally the fastest and safest path to cleanly stripping photos in 2026. Because there's nothing to install and absolutely no server uploads, it acts as the perfect frictionless barrier between your personal life and the public web.
I love this quote from our source material today. It perfectly summarizes our entire deep dive. Privacy isn't a feature you trust. It's a result you check. You literally have to verify your output, run a test, make sure the tools you're using are actually doing their job. Because once that data is out there in the wild, you cannot pull it back. So, I'm going to leave you with this thought to ponder. Have you actually checked what the last photo you texted to a friend or posted online revealed about your life? Grab one of the tools we talked about today, check that last image, and take back your digital privacy. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Your images carry more than pixels. They carry your brand, your location, your copyright. With Exif Injector, you inject the right metadata into every photo. Exif, IPTC, XMP. In bulk, in seconds. Whether you sell on Etsy, Shopify, or stock platforms, your images finally speak to search engines. Give life to your images. Visit ExifinJector.com. Start free today.